Hi, my name is Ima, and this is the first lesson in a series of video lessons that will help you to teach yourself how to play the violin. In this lesson, you will learn how to tune your violin. I will show you the mechanics of tuning and how to tune to the correct pitches. Let's start with the A string. You need to have something to tune to, like a keyboard or an electric tuner. I'm going to tune my A string to this A on my tuner. Tuning the string is like tuning your vocal cord to a note that you hear. Practice to match the note you're hearing with your voice until you don't hear the difference between your voice and the note you're hearing. When that happens, you are in tune. Now imagine that the A string is your vocal cord, and you're going to adjust it until it matches the A on the tuner. If you pluck the A string, you will hear if it is far from the correct pitch or not. My A string is very far away from the correct pitch. So I'm going to start by loosening up the A string peg so that I can turn it easily. To loosen the peg, you have to turn the peg towards you, given that the front of the violin is facing you. Make sure you don't let go of the peg because the string will come loose completely if you do. Very carefully start turning the peg away from you if the string sounds lower than the pitch, and towards you if the string sounds higher than the pitch. Just make sure that you don't stretch the string way higher than the pitch because the string can break if there's too much tension on it. As you turn the peg, you can pluck the string to hear when it gets close to the right pitch. When you think you're very close, push the peg into the snail with your left hand pushing against it on the other side of the snail. This will hold the peg in place and prevent the string from coming loose. In order to fine-tune the string, you have to play it with the bow so that you can hear it more clearly. Play long bow strokes and listen carefully to hear if the pitch you are tuning to sounds different from your string. If you have a fine tuner for your A string, you can start turning it until it matches the pitch perfectly, like your voice did before. If you don't have a fine tuner for your A string, then you have to loosen up the A string peg very carefully and adjust it until your string matches the pitch. You might have to push the peg in again so that it stays in place. Now repeat these steps for the other strings. Tune the D string next, then the G string, and at last the E string. Learning to tune the violin will take some practice and a little bit of patience. Don't be alarmed if your violin goes out of tune while you're playing, especially if you have new strings. You might find that your violin goes out of tune a lot, since it can take the strings a few days to adjust. I usually have to tune my violin a couple of times during my practice. The strings will stay better in tune if the violin is left in a steady temperature. So don't leave it by a window or a radiator, and definitely don't leave it in your car. At last, it really helps if you have good strings on your violin. Avoid buying the cheapest strings you can find, since those can sound hollow or nasal. I recommend that you use dominant strings. They adjust well, they sound excellent, and they're not too pricey. Now take some time to tune your violin. And if you're having problems, don't hesitate to email me, and maybe I can help you figure out what the problem is. Good luck!